Hi, welcome on people. Welcome to Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. I'm excited to have you here. It's a very big conversation here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for choosing us. It's a brand new edition. A lot of stuff to go through, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you pause the video, go back in there, subscribe to the channel. It's imperative that we do here for me. We have a lot to unpack for you, a lot of analysis here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. We are always excited to have you here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. So stick and stay with us. Let us dig into the analysis. Let us talk about everything that's going on in the world of football. Like the fact that Xavi Hernandez has said that he's going to lead the Barcelona job at the end of the season. Given everything that the team has gone through. Last season, he won the Spanish La Liga. This season, the team don't seem to be able to improve. It looks as if there's some form of negativity around the Barcelona team, and he wants to go away. And I think rightly so. And there's a contest of this Barcelona conversation that we'll have later on. The fact that when Jordi Cruyff and then Matthew Alemany and the likes left the team, he didn't really feel as trusted as possible. And if you have the likes of Guillem Balaguer reporting some of these things, then you can understand that really there are things that are not going well with Barcelona and Xavi, and then the trust he has in his team and in the players. And I remember they had done such a brilliant job in terms of bringing in some very good quality, especially when they were financially in a very bad place. Yes, this season Barca are not playing at the Camp Nou, but mind you, Xavi is a fan before even a coach for Barcelona. He's a legend of the club as well, and essentially he would want the good for the club. He says he doesn't feel it. He doesn't think that he's the one to turn around the negativity around the club. He would want to stick around to the end of the season. But once the season ends, he would part ways with the club. He will go elsewhere and hopes that a new person comes in and is able to turn the tide at FC Barcelona. Apart from that, we have conversations about African Cup of Nations. Angola went through, same as Nigeria earlier on today. And I'll tell you why I think that Victor Osimhen and Chelsea are made for heaven. There is no way, absolutely no way, Chelsea should go into the summer without getting Victor Osimhen. No way. I'll tactically break that down for you. There is no way Chelsea should go into the summer without getting Victor Osimhen. My name again is Fiifi-Manfred. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. I'm consistently grateful to have you here. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Tell me why you think that Osimhen should be at Chelsea. Tell me why you don't think so. Let's talk about the Barcelona situation. Let's do all the analysis. Stick and stay. Let's Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel if you've not subscribed to. Make sure you turn on notifications and then you choose all so that every time we drop a video, you are first. So let us get into the conversation straight away. There's a lot to talk about, and we'll start first in the Spanish La Liga and with a conversation about Xavi and Barca. Hey, so you see, this is the thing. Barcelona as a club is such a huge brand, and you see, Barca were at a point where they are the best manager in the world, they are the best academy in the world. In fact, everything was going on right for that club, but they messed it all up. The quest to go and get superstars, then the quest to get in players from elsewhere, and not necessarily depending on the quality that was coming from La Masia, and everything that happened under Bartomeu and then the former Barcelona CEOs and everything really sets Barca into a place where they were always set to fail. Yes, Pep Guardiola leaving, going to Bayern, Messi the best player in the world, at some point in time realizing that Barca wasn't where he fell in love with the first time, and things were beginning to change. And all of a sudden, Barca were taking a sharp nosedive. And I remember last season when Barcelona were trying to get all the players in the world, getting Koundé, getting Lewandowski, getting Ferran Torres back, getting almost everybody, Dembele and everybody. I kept on saying that it is the end that will justify the means at Barcelona, because I didn't think that they needed to go on that onslaught. But it was a brilliant job done by Matthew Alemany, Jordi Cruyff, and then of course Xavi, in getting these profiles that were important to Barcelona. And in terms of the financial point of view of everything, it was a brilliant stuff to do. Now, when all of these come and go, and Xavi comes in the first season, win the Spanish La Liga, doesn't really do well in Europe. And in the next season, the plan is that, okay, Xavi has to do well in Europe because we're a club that we're taking Europe by storm in years past, and we need to return to that level. So let's just give it a shot again and then go. Now, the season starts, and Barca have been struggling from the onset of the season up till now. Losses to Girona, losses to Barcelona, to Real Madrid, big games against Atletico de Madrid, and today the one against Villarreal. Even when we're down by 2-0, came up, VAR Ikaye Gundogan, and then an on goal from Eric Bailly, and then going down again in terms of mentality, how to stay in the game, how to manage games, and the fact that there's a general negativity around Barcelona. And I remember in my last post where I spoke about about the Spanish La Liga, I did mention that, hey, it looks as if Xavi may be tired, and the fact that he's not getting the support that he ought to be getting from the Barcelona boardroom, given the fact that his friends Alemani and the Hardy Crew had left the club, and then he was going to be in such a tight space. So I wasn't shocked when I saw the news that Xavi has decided to part with Barcelona, especially at the end of the season. So that makes sense, given where Barcelona are. There's a lot of negativity, and you want something new to come in. Especially if you look at the Spanish La Liga table, where they are behind Girona and just 1 point away from Atletico de Madrid, who are in fourth. And it can get worse from here. It can get worse from here. Injuries to Yamin Lawal, Alejandro Balde, Pedri, Gavi also getting some time off hasn't really helped the club. And Xavi, like I said earlier on, is a fan of Barcelona even before being a coach of the club. And if there is negativity around the club, I think the best thing is for him to step away like he has done. But Barca are in such a deep hole in terms of financial capability, getting the next manager that's willing to come to Barcelona and then settle for what they did. Because after winning the Spanish La Liga last season, there was such a huge opportunity for Xavi to demand more, but he didn't demand. I mean, he wanted the best for Barcelona. And now this has happened. The new manager that will come in will demand more. If it's going to give you success, then he wants more. He wants a few things from the board, and they will have to deliver. If they don't deliver, then of course Barca may be going down like that, and it's a big ask. As to how long it will take for Barca to get back to the top again, nobody knows. It's going to take a while. But hey, on the other side, the arch rivals Madrid were able to go on and then get a job done against Las Palmas. They also went down by a goal to 0 earlier on, by excellent job from Vinicius Jr. and Oshimen. And I think that the Madrid mindset of consistently coming back, of games, not if games hasn't ended, you don't celebrate when you're playing against FC Real Madrid, is a thing. And they have proven their mettle. They've shown their mettle over and over again. I think that that's the only team that can stop Girona. I think Real Madrid are going to win the Spanish La Liga this season. Yes, it's a long shot at it, but still they can go ahead and win the Spanish La Liga. Then you go in and you talk about their possibilities in Europe, which is going to be step by step. But again, in terms of functional play and functionality and the job of Carlo Ancelotti and every other person in the Madrid dugout, you expect that they can go very far. And even this summer, they are going to add Kylian Mbappe, who are here from Jules Lauren, and then Fabrice Hawkins, that he's signing pre-contract stuff with Real Madrid. Then you can understand that it looks as if Madrid are going on the upside, whilst Barcelona are taking a nosedive into the ocean, and nobody seems like they're going to salvage them. They're going to save them from that nosedive. So we'll see how that goes. But that's it in the Spanish La Liga. In the Italian Serie A, Juventus had a red card today. They end up getting a draw at home against Empoli. It was a big game. We expected that Massimiliano Allegri and his charges were going to get an all-important win and then keep up the pace on Internazionale Milan, who play against Fiorentina later. But they weren't able to get a job done. It was a red card, and they were down by a man, and then they ended up getting a draw. And I think that's a fair result, especially playing at Turin and then getting a red card. Now, tomorrow, Internazionale Milan play, and I've told you consistently, when it comes to having 3 at the back automatisms and shaping it into a 5-3-2, Simeone Inzaghi seems to be excellent at it in everything in terms of build-up, progression, dictating the pace of the game, chance creation, pressing, counter-pressing, sitting in the low block, mid-block. His teams have been excellent, and to show you over again, in the Coppa Italia win, he showed it again. I mean, he's the best manager in terms of Coppa Italia in the Italian Serie A. He has won it multiple times. He's a top guy. I'm taking him to the Champions League final. he is a great guy, and I think that he has done an excellent job, especially on somebody like Thuram, who came in to fill in a big boot of Romelu Lukaku when Lukaku opted out of coming back to Internazionale Milan. He comes in there and gets the goals for Internazionale Milan. And you can understand, they have about 3 or more players having 10 plus goals this season. Hakan Calhanoglu, Thuram himself, and then of course Lautaro Martinez. Excellent in terms of everything that they do in the Italian Serie A. And I think that's going to be a difficult job for Juventus to try and stop them, but it's not far-fetched. It's not far off them. They are capable of stopping Internazionale Milan. But it's going to be a little bit of a difficult job for them. But we'll wait to see how that goes. But the Italian Serie A is proving to be a very exciting league as it stands now. Lazio, Napoli, and the other teams are also in the mix right there. But then it's a 2-horse race as it stands now between Internazionale Milan, and then of course Juventus in that regard as well. So Simeone Inzaghi would want to win that all-important trophy for the Juventini in the Bianconeri, they call them as well. So that's it. But see, the African Cup of Nations first set of games for the round of 16 just ended. Angola earlier on beats Namibia. Brilliant stuff. If you look at the kind of game that went on, Angola going down by a man, scoring, free kick, everything, it was brilliant. I don't think that Namibia were good enough to qualify to the round of 16, but they did. And Angola should prove their mettle. They showed that they're a very good side. They've been able to go through. But I think that the bigger game was in the Nigeria versus Cameroon game, where, see, I'm saying it today. There is no way Chelsea should go in that summer where Baghdad and Bali and Todd Bolly with Winstanley and Viville and what's his name, Shields, should not do everything humanly possible to get Victor Osimhen. I remember in the last few days I've said that Chelsea's pressing and counter pressing has been the best since October. And most of the times I think that I love the positioning and then the body orientation of Cole Palmer every time that he wants to block passing lines, and the fact that he uses his long limbs to go in and win balls and everything. But I watched Victor Osimhen just a while ago, and then I said to myself, imagine Osimhen being menacing up front, leading a charge with Cole Palmer from the side. It is almost an impossible force to stop when you are being counter-pressed from the back. He forced the Cameroonians to make mistakes, forces Nuhu to make mistakes, forces Castillejo to make mistakes, runs the channels. He's aggressive, he's menacing, he keeps coming, doesn't stop. Victor Osimhen is just the guy that's set up for that Chelsea play. If you still want to make sure that you are playing in a system where you have balance on the right-hand side, but you also want somebody that can hold up play in tight areas, and you still want to play Nicolas Jackson, you can't right behind him or from the left, then play Victor Osimhen. Then the press is relentless and aggressive. If you want even more in terms of finishing, then you have Christopher Nkunku behind them. Then you can go solid 2 DMs in Gallagher, and then Moise Caicedo. It is such a sight where I think that that's just going to be the final piece of Chelsea's puzzle in terms of finishing, in terms of aggression, even confidence. He walks into teams because of his menacing nature, he's going to pump a lot of confidence in the boys. And I think that that's the kind of striker that Chelsea needs. There is no way Chelsea should look elsewhere. Look at an Ivan Toney, look at Victor Gyökeres or any other person. I think Oshimen is the guy in terms of anticipation of balls mid-air, and I think that helps his aerial threat as well. His older play, link-up play, bringing other players into being, forcing the issue. Yes, he has underperformed his XG. Yes, he has had chances that he should have scored. Yes, this AFCON is not scoring so many goals. But boy, oh boy, Osimhen's contribution to Nigeria's game all round has been so important. And I think that in the context of Chelsea, it is so important as well. And you watch games like the game that Chelsea played against Fulham, where Chelsea gets chances and you need a killer. And Osimhen is in there. If you press like that, win that ball off Cole Palmer, Cole is comfortable to square the ball to him, and Osimhen is going to convert. And this is what you get from this kind of top quality player. See, there is no way, absolutely no way, Chelsea should go through the summer without getting Victor Osimhen. He is the guy, the final piece of the puzzle. My name is Fiifi-Manfred. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much for sticking and staying. We will hear from you. But until then, subscribe to the channel and then share, turn on notifications. We will see.